The last class we looked at how you can navigate around your data sets. Today we'll be looking at how you can add currency code to your data sets where the data are in maybe you want it in naira or in any currency code you want. So I'm going to teach you guys how you can do that. But before we do that, I want to also to have a recap of what we were taught last training video. Okay, so now I said control and right arrow takes it to the head of the column within the data set. The last column is column H. Now while I'm on column H, sorry, let me go to this row. That's G2. Control and down arrow takes me to the head of this row, which is 35554. Control and up arrow takes me up. Okay, so for me to highlight all, Control A to select all. If I take my cursor outside this data set, I press Control A, it highlights everything within the sheet. Cursor within data set, Control A highlights all. Or Control Shift and what? Star does the same thing. Now if I want to move clockwise around the data set, Control and dot. While your hand is on Control, Control and dot moves you around these data sets. It moves around the data set clockwise. Okay, as that's that. Then I also said that look at this actual amount. What of you I want this actual amount to be before the budget amount? Select this. Put your hands on on Shift key. Click anywhere within this border. Shift key. While your hand is on Shift key, just put your cursor here. So it's going to come in between the region and the budget amount. Release your hand. Can you see that now? So it's in between the region and the budget amount. That's how you can do that. Okay, let me take it back. Click here. Your hand is on Shift. Put the cursor anywhere within this border. Drag it here. Release your hand. That's it. I want this region. This region is not supposed to be here. For instance, I want it to be immediately after departmental name. Select here. Shift. Put your cursor here. That's that. Now I need a copy of this region. A duplicate copy. You put your hands on Control this time around. Select this edge. Look at that cross. While your hand is on Control, if I put my cursor here, it's going to replace what I have on the actual amount. I don't want it. Come here. Release your hand. It's a copy. Undo. That's on Z. Control Z. Now, if I want to select this actual amount at a go, Control Shift down arrow. Select everything at a go. Control Shift down arrow. But if I do the same thing here, look here. Control Shift down arrow. Select the whole row. And I don't want that. I want the whole column to be selected within the data set. Control Shift and your N key should be able to do that for you. Okay, let me take my cursor up. Control up. Control Shift and N key does that for you. Actually, this is what actually happened. I think what I said is it discovered that I did. Let me undo this. Control Shift and N key does that for you. Actually, what happened is that as I looked at where the last where I must have put my cursor. I put my cursor here, and I come here. Control Shift and N key. Okay, that works fine. But at times it tends to move around. It tends to go outside of it. But all things being equal, it should work. So Control Shift and N key does it for me. So if I use Control Shift and down key, what happens? It selects the whole row. I don't want that. Control Shift and what? N key. Control Shift and N key does that for me. So now look what equals budget amount minus actual amount. Enter. When you press enter, it moves to the next row. What if you want it to be the same row? Just say equals budget amount minus actual amount. Control enter. Control enter does that for you. So there's a way Z controls this, whether it's used to go up, down, and so on. Alt T O. Okay, Alt T O is something as saying come to File, Options, then go to Advanced. Now take a look at this. This is where Microsoft Excel is controlling this. Now look at this down. That's why it's going down. After pressing the enter, move selection. It's going to move the selection down. So if you wanted to move it right, left, or up, it does that. If I uncheck this, what it means is that it will act as control and enter. That control enter command is has the same way. So let's just leave it like this. Now let's come here. Let me show you one more thing. Look here. This is the scroll bar. If you don't want to see the scroll bar, you can uncheck it here. If you don't want to see the vertical scroll bar, you can uncheck it here. If you don't want to see the show sheet tab, you can uncheck it here. Let's see. Check. There is no vertical scroll bar. There is no horizontal bar. The sheet here. Sorry, I think it's the way I recorded the video. The sheet here, you won't be able to see it. If you try it on your own system, you won't be able to see it. So people do that at times. Probably you don't want your users to be able to navigate from one sheet to the other. You want to build like a customized application whereby the user will just click on an hyperlink, it takes them there. So it's just a way of using Excel to mimic an accounting application. So let's undo that. Advanced. Let's check them again. Click OK, and you have them back. Now look at this view tab. You can also play around this view tab. These are grid lines, fainted lines within your sheet. You can remove it. You can remove the header. You can remove the formula. So now that's that. You remove that. So look at it. You can hide this ribbon. This is called ribbon. You can hide this. For you to hide it, Control F1. Hide, unhide, Control F1 to unhide. Control F1 on hide, Control F1 to unhide. Or you can just double click anywhere with this. Just double click anywhere. Double click. So just double click. That does that. Now you can also come here, view. Look at this full screen. Click on full screen. You see like full screen. So for you to have it back, just click on this taskbar. Click on it. It minimizes the bit. Maximize it. You have it back. Okay. So let's go back to our view. Let's uncheck this. Now double click here again to set it to visible. Check here. Check here. You have it back. Okay. So now this, for you to copy down this formula, wait for a thin dark cross at this edge. If you put the cursor here, we don't have it. At this edge, you double click, have it back. Now control down arrow. I want to sum this at a go. The shortcut is Alt equals. Control enter. Alt equals. Simple as saying come in here and saying sum. Beside this sum, you have the Alt equals. That's the shortcut. Alt equals together. Does that for you. Okay. So now let's look at this. Look at this data. I want to add currency code to it. Select the first three. Control Shift down arrow. Select all. Control Shift down arrow. Just select the first three. Control Shift down arrow. Select all for you at a go. And press Control 1. It gives the same thing as saying coming here and saying this. See the same thing. But Control 1 is shortcut key. Control 1. Come to custom. Scroll up. Let's pick this. Now with this, it means that for positive value, it's going to display it with comma separated. For negative value, it's going to show it as red color, and it will put brackets in between those values. Now if I want you to show decimal, just put 0.00 here. I want to show comma here, 0.00 here. Okay, just click OK. Let's add that first. So now just want to show you whether it is red or whatever. So now want to insert currency code. Come to insert. Look at this symbol. Click on this symbol. There's so many currencies. Look here. This is naira. This is, can you see, euro sign, pounds, based on your country. I want naira, so I click on naira. Click insert. Click close. Now double click here. Control C to copy. Press escape to go out. Let me undo. Let me do it again. Symbol. Insert, close. So Control C to copy it. Press escape. Now where do you want to format it? Just select Control Shift down arrow. Control 1 again. Can you remember this we just worked on? Put the cursor at the beginning of this hash pound. Control V. Can you see the dollar sign? Put the cursor at the beginning of here. Control V. Click OK and bingo. So you have this value back. So that's how you can do that. That's how you can add currency code to your data. So that means this is formatted to the data. This is formatted to the data. Okay. So now, one more thing. Look at these dates. You can further format these dates. Control Shift arrow down to format it. Control 1. Go to custom. Now look at this by default. It's going to give you month, day, and year. So what if you don't want it this way? Look at me. Now by the time immediately you delete that date format, it gives you numbers. So by default, Excel, gives dates in number. That's where Excel does the calculation. It gives you dates in number. It starts from a particular date to this particular date. So Excel calculates the beginning date and to that particular date, and Excel converts it to what? To numbers. So it's actually date is actually numbers. Okay, so let's go. Now let me use this format. D. Can you see? Let me put under D. Can you see Monday? Put space. Another D. That's the day. Space. Months. You want to month in halfway. Can you see? In full. Another M. Put space. November. Y. That's in 2. Go further. That's 3. Or you can put it 4. And click OK. And bingo. Can you see this date? So you formatted. That means 12th of November 2012 is actually on a Monday. Control Shift down arrow. Now come here. Give me this. Okay. Now I want to show you lastly before I go. How do you hide this? Let's assume you have times in financial modeling or in complex account formulas. Excel formulas. There are times whereby you linked a particular cell to another formula, and that particular cell that is linked to that formula, you don't want your user to see it. You want to hide it. What some people do is you just come here and paint this one white. Do you understand? Okay, but there's actually a way you can do that. Another way of doing it is the way of hiding your data so that your user doesn't see anything there. So press Ctrl 1, custom, general, delete everything. Now semicolon. The first semicolon here is saying Excel, please, if it's positive value, don't show it. Second semicolon is Excel, if it's negative value, don't show it. Third semicolon, Excel, if it's 0, please, I beg of you, don't show it. Excel will not show it. Okay, click OK and let's see what goes on. Now you can see it. It's not there. However, if you put your cursor, we did it on J2, I believe. Yes. Put your cursor within J2, you see it here. Look at it from the formula bar. But outside J2, you can see it. Thanks. This is just a tip of the iceberg. You will continue to learn more from me, and I can assure you that you will enjoy subscribing to my newsletter and to my YouTube. Thanks, and bye for now.